Today we want to take a moment to honor a truly remarkable life. A man who, in a way, had two names, one for the professional world and one for the people who loved him. And in both of those worlds, he was just brilliant.
You know, that beautiful way of putting it comes from his longtime friend, a researcher and educator named Richard DeMay, and it perfectly captures the story, right? The story of the esteemed professional Dr. Jiao and the cherished friend that so many people simply call Jay-Z.
So who was this man? The one who managed to live so brightly, so fully, in two different worlds? Well, let's start with his incredible professional journey.
Okay, so his path really began with this super strong academic foundation. I mean, first he got his bachelor's in mechanical engineering and a master's in applied physics, both in Beijing. And then he came to the US and earned his Ph.D. in electrical engineering from a top-tier school, Northwestern University.
And just look at this career timeline. You can really see his influence just growing and growing. He jumps right into the heart of the American auto industry at General Motors. From there, he's the general manager at North American Lighting, and he helps guide them to become the biggest supplier in all of North America. Then, he's on the cutting edge of LED tech with OSRAM. And finally, he takes all that experience and founds his own super influential consulting firm.
But you know, he wasn't just managing things. He was a creator, a real innovator. This man held at least 9 US patents, all in lighting and LED design. I mean, think about that for a second. He was literally inventing the technology that shapes how we see the world around us. That's huge.
And he wasn't one to keep all that knowledge locked away. Nope. He authored more than 50 technical papers and articles. He was all about sharing what he knew, pushing the entire industry to be better, to move forward. And this is where his impact gets even bigger, if you can believe it. It wasn't just about what he did inside a company. He actually became one of the key people, one of the architects who designed the rules, the very standards that the entire global lighting industry follows today.
I mean, the scope of his leadership is just wow. We're talking about the big ones, right? The Society of Automotive Engineers, the Illuminating Engineering Society, ANSI. And in these places, these really critical organizations, he wasn't just some member sitting in the back. No way. He was the fellow, the past chair, the treasurer, the vice chair. He was the guy at the front of the room, literally shaping the future of the industry.
So with all that knowledge, it's no surprise that later in his career, he became this highly sought-after expert witness. When you had these really complicated, high-stakes cases about patents and technology, he was the person you called. His ability to just break down incredibly complex ideas, well, that was priceless.
But that's just one half of the story. For all of those incredible professional accomplishments, there was this whole other world. Because to his friends, he wasn't Dr. Jiao, the global expert. He was just Jay-Z, the light of their lives.
Yeah, this was the Jay-Z his friends knew. A guy who was brilliant, sure, but also so engaging. A world traveler who was fluent in at least 3 languages. Someone who could just connect with anyone from any walk of life. It wasn't just about his brain. He had this magnetic personality.
And you really see that in his personal life, in his chosen home of San Francisco. He wasn't just living there, he was building a real community. He became this deeply loved, deeply integrated part of the city's diverse social fabric, and especially its Black community. And that just says so much about his ability to forge real, genuine bonds that went beyond any kind of boundary.
And his friend Richard DeMay, he just summed it up perfectly. He said his legacy is one of precision in engineering and passion in life. And isn't that just it? It's that beautiful combination, the sharp, precise mind of a brilliant engineer blended with this incredible, heartfelt passion for life and for the people in it. So what we're left with is this legacy that, well, it really does shine on. You can see it in the technology that literally lights up our world, and you can feel it in the hearts of all the people whose lives he made brighter just by being in them.
Which kind of brings up a big question, doesn't it? How do you properly honor a life that brought so much light to so many people? I think maybe, the best way is just step back and let the people who knew and loved him have the final word.
Jay-Z, your enduring light that lit up our lives is now missing from our lives. But your love and care we mutually shared for each other will live on in our lives. May your light continue to shine in our world. Your enduring friends, Chance, Gerald, Robin, Gassy, Dee, Brandon, Marcus, Tyrone, and Richard.